What they talking about, Draco?
Hey, this is Jairus from behind the scenes at Barber Skate Shop, and today my guest is Jordan Domineck, outside linebacker, college career, few different colleges. So this is him, man. Jordan, thank you for coming to be a part of behind the scenes at Barber Skate Shop. You know, you here?
Man, it's crazy. It's funny, like you've been my barber since I was like, what, 5 years old? It's crazy how we just came a long way since then, and just be able to be on this like show and everything, and y'all's podcast it's a humbling experience. So I'm enjoying it, man. Appreciate y'all for having me, for real.
Glad you're here, man, and I'm proud of you. Know, like you say, been knowing you since you were probably about 5 years old and stuff like that. So, I mean, you've been playing all different sports and stuff like that from what I've been seeing, and just through your childhood and stuff like that. So I know you played baseball, you played soccer, football, basketball, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You know, so as a kid, which one was your favorite sport? Even though you played all of them, which one was your favorite sport?
So as a youngin', I always loved basketball. You know, I always thought I had dreams of going to the NBA, being the next LeBron, the next Mike, the next Kobe, something like that. So that was always my favorite thing. I feel like my fondest memories were from playing like basketball over at Simpson Park in the Little League, then being able to go to AAU basketball and everything. Basketball was definitely my favorite. It didn't work out in my favor, you know, but God put me in a place where I'll be able to play football and be able to take my talent to the next level. So I was able to get a college degree off of that. But that's a little later down the line. You know, we're gonna start off with a little, you know, back then, way back when you first met me, when I was over in here jumping off of chairs and doing all this other stuff, man.
Tripping in the shop.
Tripping in the shop.
Like you say, jumping and spinning on the chair, doing stuff that I don't like, you know. And yeah, that is one of my pet peeves, for people to just be spinning around in the barber chairs, man, just spinning and spinning and spinning. And I'll be honest with you, when I was a kid, that was fun. It was almost like a merry-go-round. Yeah. You know, so in the chairs or the spin, but once you in a position where you got to pay for these shells when they break,
now it's different. Like, oh,
now it's like nah, because these chairs they can be quite expensive. You know, so and you said Simpson Park, man. Simpson Park is actually the place where a lot of athletes they started at. You know, with the basketball, I actually had a team at Simpson Park. It was called the Go-Getters. You know,
I remember you would post about them and everything, and I seen the pictures and all that. I think you have some pictures of them on the bus as well.
Oh yeah. The Go-Getters, man. We won every championship. Did you ever win any championship when y'all
over at Simp?
Yeah,
I think we won about 2 or 3 of them. I remember it was me and my brother. We were on the same team, and we got coached under my dad and Coach Vance Monroe. He's a police officer for the Lakeland Police Department and everything, and he was just a great coach overall. He coached us in football, basketball. He basically, me, Brendan, and Jaden all grew up together. So like it was just a whole bunch of just like collaboration.
Did he have any kids on the team, Vance?
Yeah, Jaden Monroe.
Okay.
So me and Jaden grew up together. We played football from literally 4 and 5 years old, me and my brother and Jaden, all the way up till we got to high school together, and we finished out our high school career together. So it was a real bond, a real brotherhood. Like even though we wasn't related, like anytime I'll text Mongo or whatever, and he will just see what happens, you know. So it was great, you know, just being able to play basketball over at Simp, and you got a lot of memories, and a lot of legends came through Simp too. So Dwayne Bacon, Corey Sanders, we had a whole bunch of people, like not even just basketball, but just different sports, and it was just so many athletes out there that it was like just crazy to be able to see like exactly where Simp was back then all the way to now. And like there are so many more athletes that we don't even know yet still going through Simpson Park. So it's gonna be something special. A lot of special people came through Simpson Park over there.
Did you play football at Simpson Park?
I did not. So I played for
Because football at Simpson Park was the Hurricanes.
I really didn't know about the Hurricanes back then. So I played for the Lakeland Eagles. They were based off of George Nichols High School football field and everything. So
and that's on the south side. Okay.
I played out there with them. My dad coached me. Coach Vance coached me. We had a plethora of coaches, honestly, over at Lakeland Eagles. So it was definitely. We didn't play the not the Miami Hurricanes, the Simpson Park Hurricanes and everything.
The PAL League,
PAL League, yeah. We weren't in there,
PAL
but
Hurricanes.
We played Plant City Dolphins, the Brandon Broncos and those kinds of teams. So it was a different league, but I feel like we still have some real good competition over there.
And that was Tri-County, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they called it Tri-County. Because I actually coached in Tri-County. I coached the Hurricanes, I want to say 2 years. 2 years. I think I coached. Then we ended up leaving and playing at Central Florida Hawks.
Yeah.
Central Florida Hawks with my sons.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Championship, basketball, football.
Y'all got it, because I never actually won a football championship.
No?
I never did. My brother
won.
Nah, so my brother and Jaden Monroe won 2, and a whole bunch of other people that were on the team as well. Donald Parham came through there. He played football for them. There's just a whole bunch of people out there, and I wish the names didn't escape me at the moment, but so many actual players that went Division I and all that were coached by my dad and Coach Monroe. So we have a lot of connections, and there's a lot of Polk County athletes that people don't know about that are literally in the NFL, the NBA, the WNBA, playing Division I football, basketball, baseball, whatever. And it's different. We had Brady Allen, and he was my quarterback at the time, back in Little League, all the way up until 7th, 8th grade.
Brady Allen?
Yeah, so he got drafted to the Miami Marlins. In 2018 for baseball.
Oh, okay. I got you. Cool, man. So the whole time you were at the Eagles, you didn't really get you a championship or nothing like that?
Nah, I never did. So we would always get close, but we got knocked out in the second or third round of the playoffs, right before the Super Bowl. So it was just something that I always wanted to reach for and get, but I could never get it, So it's you've been on championship teams and everything, and I got championships in basketball, but never a full championship in football. Not a state championship, not a national championship, not a Little League championship. I've never had any of that, but I feel like I still found a lot of success, just even through the losses and the tough times, you find a lot of success within the places where you learn to grow,
Now they say the first lesson is learning how to lose. That's what some people say. The first lesson is learning how to lose, and then after that, it makes you want to win because you don't want that feeling again. But at the same time, when you lose, it's still a lesson that you learn because you can go back and capitalize from your mistakes.
Exactly.
You work on your mistakes from that.
Exactly. So you got to be able to be not just humble in defeat, but you also got to understand, hey, how can I go back and be better than where I was when we lost? What can I do to make my team better? What can I do to make myself better? What can I do to really improve and just elevate my game to the very next level, And that's something that a lot of kids, you don't understand as a kid, but the coaches do. And they're the ones that are going to pour into you and give back to you and tell you, hey, we saw what was going on. We have the film. They literally had the coaches up there putting the film on and, trading with other teams and everything to see who's good on this team, who's not. But I remember my dad would sit us down and we would just rewatch the film and he would just tell me, okay, we could do this better or that better and whatnot. So it's a lot of different things. And being able to learn how to lose is really what's going to make you a winner. And I've been told a life lesson for me, you don't lose.
Right.
You win or you learn.
Right.
So even though you might have lost the battle, hey, there's still a whole war going on. You have a whole season to get better. You have a whole season to be able to improve and everything. So that was my main thing. And I love how you said losing is really the first lesson you got to learn. Because if you don't really understand how to lose and you've had this win streak all your life, at the end of the day, how are you going to be able to actually understand how am I going to be humble in defeat? How am I going to get better? Because if you just keep winning and winning and winning, you're not really improving. You're not thinking of yourself as better. And sometimes you get the big head and everything, but really understanding how to lose, how to be humble in defeat, and really how to learn from how you lost to become better, to become a winner. That's really what's going to help you down the line.
Exactly. Cool, yep. And all right, in these sports, Little League sports, I noticed you said that your dad was your coach. So he coached you pretty much all the way through Little League? Okay.
So he coached me all the way through Little League. He took a year off, I think, just to not be the head coach or whatnot. But there were, well, not the head coach, but not the coach at all. And he really tried to pull us out for a year, but we were so energetic, me and my brother, and we just couldn't stop. So we were just like, you know what, we're going to come out here and play. So we ended up going out there and playing. And I remember I played 10 straight years with the Lakeland Eagles as a kid from ages 5 to 15, well, 5 to 14. Okay. And then went to high school at age 14 and started playing up there. But it was definitely something, like my dad was really not just my football coach, not just my basketball coach either, because he was coaching over at Simpson Park too.
Yep.
But he was just my life coach, and along with my mama, Stacey Campbell Domineck, making sure mama know about this one. Stacey Campbell Domineck and everything. So they were the ones that really taught me just how to win at life, not just how to be a better athlete, how to be better at this or better at that, but really made me an all-around better individual, not just in sports, but making sure, hey, you're socially acceptable. You know how to really treat yourself with manners and everything. You understand what you need to do and how to speak to somebody, how to be able to talk to somebody, how to make connections and form connections, and showing empathy, and just all these life lessons that parents should be able to teach their kids. And they went above and beyond for me and my brother and my sister. So I can't be thankful enough for them.
Kudos to them, right?
Kudos to them.
That's right. And speaking of Stacey Campbell Domineck and your dad, which started the Gentleman's Institute, and I want to say, the Gentleman's Institute, I want to say that your years, you and your brother years, I think you guys were, I want to say 14 or 15.
He was 14, I was 13. I was 13 at the time, yeah.
Okay.
So he was 14, I was 13 when we started the Gentleman's Institute. And that was really just an outreach thing for my mama. So she wanted to put together something that would actually benefit, the young gentlemen around all of Lakeland. And I feel like she's actually going to start it up again as well. Like she plans on trying to get back into it and starting that up and just being like a community outreach program of just how to become a better person, not just in any way, shape, or form. Like you learning how to tie at the Gentleman's Institute, you're learning how to speak, you're learning how to, eat, which culinary instruments
to use.
Yeah, which utensils to use and everything. And then we would come into y'all's barbershop and y'all would give us the
hygiene portion.
The hygiene. Definitely. How to take care of yourself, how to groom yourself, how to make sure you look presentable, not just to people that are executives in power and everything like that, but just to anybody, learning how to just speak properly, learning basic proper etiquette, and that was something that a lot of children and young adults from around Lakeland were able to benefit from while we were doing the Gentleman's Institute.
And it's several kids that actually joined the Gentleman's Institute that's doing pretty good for themselves right now. A lot of them went to college. A lot of them finished college and working in their careers now. And the Gentleman's Institute was awesome. And I couldn't wait for it to have all those kids come inside. And then, I'm not much of a talker. Yeah. And it actually helped me because it made me want to learn how to be able to speak in front of large groups of people. I think I can talk, but it's just sometimes I may get nervous in front of a lot of people, and I try to speak and use the right words and stuff like that, and I'll forget what I'm about to say.
And it'll get jumbled in your head and everything. But then that was another thing as well, like just being able to understand public speaking. That was another thing that we would talk about in the Gentleman's Institute as well. And I'm glad that it was able to benefit and help you, because at the end of the day, I already know with your success in your business in the skate shop and whatnot, and the success I know is going to come for you, you're going to be out there speaking to younger barbers about what do you think you need to do? What do you need to do to be able to be a successful business person in this career? What do you need to be able to do to grow your business and grow your accounts? Not even just inside and just around the community, but social media wise, social media presence. I've seen you've grown your social media presence. It's expanded and it's been blowing up a little bit, and I've seen that as well. So it's crazy to me how just everything comes full circle, you know, and how the Gentleman's Institute didn't just benefit the people within the institute, but also those people outside in the community as well.
Absolutely. And actually a lot of the staff, staff as well. And that with that Gentleman's Institute, you 13, 14, you and your brother and stuff like that, and that was the beginning of your high school. So going into high school from Little League, playing those same sports and stuff like that, and being able to articulate yourself, and I think that that helps with your sports as well, because you need to be able to communicate with the coaches and stuff like that. So that kid that understands what coach is telling them and being able to take orders and stuff like it's going to help your play.
Definitely. Like, if you're not what I feel like the Gentleman's Institute helped, and a lot of the people there were athletes as well. So we had some athletes from Lake Wales, we had athletes from Lake Gibson, we had athletes from middle schools and everything like that. And we just had, it was a whole range from like 7 to 15 or 14 or something like that. And it was just being able to understand, hey, this is how you interview prep. That was something that was really big out there as well. Not just going in there and just being like, this, that, and the third, but actually learning how to speak clearly, learning how to enunciate your words, learning how to actually be proper and understanding the right vernacular to be able to use in a conversation with, larger CEOs, business people, anybody like that, where you can actually form connections. And it just helps you because, some people, like us, some people would think, they're not intelligent based on the way they speak. They're not intelligent based on the way they dress. They're not intelligent based on, the kind of hair they might have or something like that. And until you prove yourself to that, you have to show yourself as a whole different person. Not even a whole different person, but the person that you really want to be. If you want to be intelligent, you want to show that you're intelligent, you want to show your vernacular, you want to show anything for real. If you want to really impress people, the Gentleman's Institute was something that really helped us and definitely helped with not just public speaking, but just being more confident in yourself and learning just your basic needs and basic needs to be able to be who you want to be, so to speak.
All right. So after that, okay. How was that? How did that transition to high school with you? So
for me, the Gentleman's Institute was like a stepping stone. But my mama, she was, it was like since I was 5th, 6th, 7th grade, she would actually sit me down in her room and we'd have a one-on-one talk and she would interview me. So she would literally ask me questions that news reporters that she's been asked before, because she's a CEO as well. She's been asked these questions before. What questions would I possibly be asked? Not even just in the football aspect of it, but just life. Business interview questions, job interview questions. Just being able to understand and get feedback from her and just learning how to actually speak and be proper and understand how to enunciate and just everything I just said and all that. But that really helped me transition, especially going not just in high school, but all the way to college, because that's when I really started doing like more interviews and being seen more on TV and actually, speaking and actually being more known. So being able to go through the Gentleman's Institute springboarded what she had already instilled in me as a foundation from a young age. So then she did that with my brother and she did that with my sister as well. And this Gentleman's Institute, I feel like, was just super beneficial to everybody involved. And honestly, there's not much else you can say about it. Like, it was just something that I feel like we should definitely bring back to this community. And I think it's actually in the works to be able to be brought back and everything. So we'd be able to get, it was usually like 25 people or so. I think we're going to be able to get a few more, like 25, 30, 40. But once we actually get that plan back in motion, I feel like it's going to be a great community outreach program, and a lot of people are going to benefit from that program.
Right. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, back to high school football and basketball.
Basketball, football, track and field.
So you played all 3 sports in high school?
Yes, sir. I played football, basketball, track and field. I played football under Coach Tate and then played under Coach Canning. Basketball, I played under Coach Marcus Gent the entire time, the All-American, McDonald's All-American. He was just he was great. Like, there's not much you can say. Like, he was great. And then under track, I was over at George Jenkins and I was under Coach Robo and everything. But being a multi-sport athlete, I feel like it truly helped me with my athleticism as well. So I wasn't in high school. I didn't really do much weightlifting, which is something that I really wish I did. But being able to play football, basketball, and run track and field, just learning how to work my body in different ways that you wouldn't expect. So now I'm over here working basketball moves on the football field, and vice versa. I'm working football moves on the basketball field, being able to get off of blocks while I'm getting off a pick and getting around the corner and all that. So being able to be a multi-sport athlete, I feel like truly helps athletes instead of just a single sport athlete. Ray Lewis, he was a multi-sport athlete, so he played football and did wrestling as well. And you saw what Ray Lewis was, and Ray Lewis is from our city, Kathleen High School, and he was just down the road. And a lot of other teams, a lot of other people as well that are on a whole bunch of different teams were multi-sport athletes. And I feel like being a multi-sport athlete truly helps you. And it can't hinder your growth. It can't hinder your development because you're able to take things that you would learn from one sport and apply them to a different sport. And now people are like, oh, I've never seen this before. Well, it's because you never played basketball before. You don't know how to stop a spin move, or you don't know how to stop a little 1-2 cut on a basketball court and then break off like you're a receiver. You never know.
And that's like Patrick Mahomes. He was throwing, and they was doing throwing the football sidearm, and that's baseball.
That's baseball, exactly. So a whole bunch of different sports actually help athletes, and I think a lot of athletes need to understand, hey, don't put all your eggs in one basket, but make sure you go out, and even if you're not playing the sport, even if you're not on an official team, just go out there and have fun with it. Go out there and do some pickup basketball if you're playing high school football. Go out there and find some friends and act like you at the Sandlot or something. You know that movie, The Sandlot, just playing baseball and all that. You know, track and field definitely helps a lot of athletes, especially in Florida, when it comes to, you know, running and getting your form and everything down and everything like that. So being able to be a multi-sport athlete, I feel like it can only help you. It can never hurt you.
Cool, yeah. And through all those sports and stuff like that, I know that you maintained a high GPA. What was your GPA?
Graduating out of high school, my GPA was a 3.97. That was weighted, unweighted, it was a 3.84. ACT and SAT, you know, my mama made me take them like 3 times. She was like, you know what, we gonna get you that Bright Future scholarship. So the first time I took the ACT, I scored a 26. The second time I scored a 28, and she was like, all right, we need a 29 for the Bright Futures. Ended up going back and scoring a 30 on it. So I was able to do that. And then the SAT, I was able to score a 1260 before they were, you know, changed the requirement, like changed the scoring grade and everything. So it was out of 1600, it was like a 1260 or something like that. But once again, that goes back to my parents building that foundation of me. Like, I can't play sports if I don't have the grades for it. And that's what a lot of athletes as well, like, you have to understand, if you want to go to the next level to play sports, if you want to make it to the NFL one day, if you want to make it to the NBA one day, well, you got to go through college first. They're not taking people, they're not taking people just out of high school, like maybe baseball, you know, baseball. But even then, the people on our baseball team were high GPA students as well. Like, they also have to have that GPA to be able to not just play in the major leagues, but to be able to even stay on the team in high school. Like, you can't drop below a certain GPA, but you don't want to strive to just have that GPA. You want to strive to be above and beyond and excel in what you want to do. So that way, for me, my parents set me up for success by once I finished like 10th grade, I had already had all but like 7 credits that I still needed left for high school. So I ended up doing Polk State College, you know, dual enrollment program. So I was able to earn college credits while still in high school. So once I got to Georgia Tech, I had like 34, 36 credits saved up. I was able to graduate from Georgia Tech with my business degree, my business administration degree early in like 3.5 years. So I graduated December of 2021 instead of December of 2022. So it was like, that really helps you set yourself up for success, not just now, but in the future. You want to get out of college early and try to go to the league, and you feel like you have the talent to do that? Do your classwork now. Be able to work your classes now. Finish up school with a high GPA. Finish up school with good SAT and ACT scores. And don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. That's what I feel like a lot of athletes struggle with as well, is not being able to ask for help.
And not just athletes, kids in general. A lot of them are intimidated to ask for help.
And a lot of people need to understand, asking for help does not mean you're weak. Asking for help does not mean you're dumb. It doesn't mean that somebody else is better than you. Asking for help, you guys don't mind asking for help if you're a football player and you're asking, oh, how do I work that chopped club? Well, go to your tutor. Hey, how do I work this math problem, this trigonometry math problem? It's the same exact thing, just in different walks of life. And people need to understand that and understand, hey, if I need help, go get it, go take it. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be scared. Don't be upset that you need help. And take it into you and be like, okay, I understand I need help. I know what'll help me. I know what'll help me get to the next level. Go out there, get the help that you need, whether it be extra tutoring, whether it needs to be you go after class to your teacher and talk to them about things, whether it's like, oh, I might have to miss practice today so that I can, make up this test that I may have messed up on, or make up this quiz. And it helps, it really does help. Help is help.
Help is help.
And you can't be scared, you can't be annoyed that you need that help, because at the end of the day, you're on the football field. Like, take for example, I'm on the football field, right? How am I gonna get better? How do you get better if you don't have the coaches to help you?
Right.
That's the same thing in the classroom. How are you gonna get better if you're not willing to put in the work and ask for the help that you need? That's a lot of things. You wanna watch film? Well, you gotta study.
Right.
You're studying film, you can study your academics. It's the same thing. And people need to understand, like, it's not just, oh, I'm gonna play football and I'm gonna get to the NFL like that. Like, no, there's a whole process behind it. There are things that you have to do. There are requirements you have to meet. And if you need help to meet those requirements, get it.
Yeah, and at the same time, I know that you were you was the sack leader and the all-time tackler at George Jenkins. And at the same time, you wouldn't have been able to do that without without help.
Yeah.
Help not only from your teammates, but help in the classroom and help from your coaches to be able to study these teams and know how to prepare.
Exactly.
For the game. So, okay, I know what he's about to do, so I'm prepared for it. And this is what it's going to take to get these sacks.
Yeah, so for me, my senior year, I ended up breaking the sack record for George Jenkins by finishing up with 25 sacks. But what people don't see, like not many people know that, but what people really don't know is that before Friday games, our coach, Coach Free, would take us into like a little classroom or whatnot.
Coach Free?
Yeah.
Freeman?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Coach Freeman would take us into a classroom and he would put up on Huddle just the highlights of the people that we were playing or the game film of people that we're playing. And he would just tell us like, hey, this is the kind of thing we have to do. This is what we have to deal with whenever we're playing this next game. You sit there and study and actually understand what's going on there. And it's like, okay, now I know. I'm studying the plays. I'm studying the film. I'm seeing what I'm about to go up against. And now that I understand and have an understanding of what I'm going up against, now I can prepare for what I'm going up against. On Mondays and Tuesdays, we would have film studies and everything like that at George Jenkins, or just rainy days, we'd have film study and everything like that. So it all just depends. Like, and you also have to, preparation, that's another thing I want to talk about as well. When it comes to preparation, how well can you prepare both on and off the field? On and off the court, in and out of the classroom. There are so many different ways that you can prepare and so many different ways that people prepare, so many different ways that you can study. You just got to find something that's right for you. So for me, as a kid, I love music. I like to make my own music and everything like that. I'll never release it, for sure. I'll never release it.
I ain't know you was a rapper. I ain't know you was making music.
Yeah, I
Chris
love
Brown. You know what I'm saying? You can do everything.
Man, I like making music. I got some music on my phone that will never reach the light of day. But you know, I like to like make little raps of like, you know, this is what I need to do. So in my classes, they would give us like rules and, you know, things that we would just learn in history and all that, and we would literally I'd literally make a rap about it. Or I'd make something that seems catchy and something that I can get used to, and something that I'll just remember on a test or remember this, that, and the third, and it'll help me significantly because why? I'm passionate about music. Other people can do the same thing. You're on football, well, pretend you're studying film. You don't like something or like you like video games, okay, well, there are different things online that'll help you with that. That'll make a video game out of the flashcards that you have or make a video game out of the things that you make. And as you go through it, you actually have to put the fun into studying so that way you don't even feel like you're studying.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people like should do, I feel like. So for me, it was just using music as a way of retaining the information. And I feel like anybody and everybody can find a way that whatever they're studying, it'll be able to speak to them. And if they make it into the way that they want to do it, it also helped me with my rap skills. You know, I was able to I'm telling you, just being able to learn okay, I'm gonna put this math into this rap and everything like that. And I would look up on YouTube and just look up different videos of what I could do for math, science, reading. Like I remember sitting there and watching, what was his name? Daniel Radcliffe. I believe that's his name, the Harry Potter guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he actually made a rap. Oh, he didn't have a rap, but he memorized the song for the periodic table. So he literally told everybody the exact elements on the entire periodic table off of a song. And I'm like, oh, I like that. I remember Reggie Coos, he came out and he started making presidential raps and everything like that. So I learned all the presidents from that. I learned, you know, all the states from those raps and just stuff like that.
Cool. All right.
You gotta do what you do well and do what you love. That's what the Barber Skate Shop is about. We do men's cuts and shaves well, and we love the skate life. Check out our skateboards, roller skates, and barber supplies. The all-new Barber Skate Shop, open now.
Welcome back behind the scenes at Barber Skate Shop with your host Jairus and my man Jordan Domineck.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So Jordan, what are some of your accolades that you accumulated in high school with your sports and stuff like that?
So like I said, I did play football, basketball, and track and field. I was a 3-time, what is it called, letterman for college, for high school in football. 3-time letterman for high school in football, 4-time letterman for basketball, and then 3-time letterman, I believe, in track as well. Football, I was able to earn all county spots my sophomore and junior year, and then I was all county player of the year for my senior year. Basketball, I believe I made a couple of all-county teams as well, but I got, defensive player of the year and, MVP of the year 1 year while I was playing basketball as well. Defensive MVP my last 2 years while I was at George Jenkins for football. And then when it came to track and field, I was actually able to make it to, we won we won divisional, I believe, our track and field team did, and then I believe we also won regional as well. And then I was able to actually make it to states my senior year, and I believe I came in 9th place out of the 4A district that we had. So I feel like I had a couple of good accolades. I was able to break the record for all-time tackles, I believe, at George Jenkins, as well as the sack. I was the sack leader there. I was able to break the single season sack record. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So I was able to get 25 sacks my senior year. And like I said, that all came from just preparation and, the coaches pouring back into me and just me retaining all the information I knew. And like I said again, when it came to preparing, being able to be better than I was the day before, that's when I was starting to get noticed. So all these accolades and everything that started to pile up, it got me a lot of college interest. It was able to help me, beef up my social media profile and just, put a good sports resume out there to be able to show, okay, college coaches, I'm not just a football player, but I'm also a basketball player. I'm also I'm not just a football player, I'm an athlete. And when the coaches would come around to our school and everything, because we didn't really have too many college coaches coming through George Jenkins before, my class. We had a lot of people that came through my class and a lot afterwards as well. So George Jenkins is really starting to come up and, I feel like they'll be a powerhouse in a few years. With the coaching staff that they have over there and everything, I feel like they'll be a powerhouse. But the first thing that college coaches would ask about me, what kind of person was he? Was he a good person? Was he a troublemaker? And I feel like I was, pretty good. Everybody had some good things to say about me. And then the second thing they would ask me was, okay, what are your transcripts? What do his transcripts look like?
Are you a student athlete?
Yes. Am I a student athlete or am I an athletic student? There's a difference. What did you put first? What are you able to accomplish? What do you need to do? What else do you need to do to be able to meet the requirements for these college programs and everything? So understanding that I was a student athlete, I made sure to actually get those grades and going. And from there, I was able to, the better I did in school, the more confident I felt. And the more confident I felt, the better I played on Fridays and everything. So I would ace a big test on a Friday. I felt good about myself. I go into the game and I'm gonna go dominate. That's just how I feel. Like one thing leads to another. That confidence off the field translates to the confidence on the field.
I like that.
And from there, that confidence translates into you making plays, and you making plays brings the interest, and that's where my offers came from.
I like that, what you said about you made an A on your exam, and it just boosted your confidence up. It's like, and you do, when you make good grades, you do feel good about yourself. And it's like, man, I can't be stopped. But I done aced this test. Now I got the game. I know I'm going to have a good game because my whole day is going good. It started out good. So I'm going to finish it the same way I started.
And that's another thing, too. So it was really, when I was over at Colorado, Coach Prime, and I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but when I was over at Colorado, Coach Prime actually brought it to our attention, like, how you do anything is how you do everything. So if you want to excel in that way. And I never realized, but that's how I abided. So if I wanted to be good in sports, you have to be good on the academic side. If you want to be good in just anything, for real. If you want to be good in anything, you have to be good in everything that you do.
Because it's about doing your best. It has to be just in you to do your best.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly. If you want to be the best at something, you have to be the best at everything.
Everything.
Exactly. That's how I really feel like I was. And I think that's how you feel as well. Because, I've been coming to you for 15 years and you're still the best barber I done ever had, man. So it's crazy, man. You know how it is.
Hey, I appreciate that too.
I got you. I do got a question for you though. So what made you go into, cutting hair and becoming a barber and, starting up your own business, starting up your own shop? What was the inspiration behind the Barber Skate Shop?
Man, I've been cutting since I was probably maybe 12, 13 years old. I started out drawing. I used to like drawing. That was like my thing, drawing. And just cutting hair was almost like art, but it was the opposite. When you're drawing, you putting on. When you're cutting, you taking away to make an image. And just cutting as a kid, to me, it was fun because I was drawing cartoons in people's head, doing all kind of designs and stuff like that. So the guys at the barbershop heard that I would always have a shed full of people because my dad had a shed behind the house that I would cut in.
And I remember you had the picture of it up on the first place overall. What was it? Right next to Watson Clinic?
Yeah.
I remember that picture where you was like just that one chair and it was just you sitting in there and just like, how proud are you of yourself and how proud do you think the people are of you from going just in that shed to, I saw you had owned the barbershop over across the way next to Watson Clinic. I remember you owned a barbershop out in Plant City and now you're working out of here. So what was the progression for that for you?
I had a plan. I had a plan, and I still have a plan. And everything to me happens for a reason, and it's a process. It's steps. Before it started out as second to none, but now it's Barber Skate Shop. It was second to none, then second to none barbershop and skate supply. That's how I ended up in Plant City because I was experimenting. I wanted to see if the shop that I had, the concept that I'm working with, would work in a plaza. That's how I ended up in Plant City. With the skateboards and stuff like that, and I wanted to have something different. In order to expand and get people attention, you have to be different. You have to, because what sets this barbershop aside from any other barbershop is no other barber skate shop. We're a barbershop. We sell skateboards, roller skates, apparel, and things like that.
I saw it look like some Gucci leopard skin skates over there. I was looking at those for a second. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I might have to go check those out. But I see you guys got all the gear, the thrasher, and it's just, I like the vibe because you went in a completely different direction than a lot of barbershops do. Like a lot of barbershops are just one-dimensional. A lot of barbershops are just, you come in here, cut your hair.
And then, the same.
Exactly. And then another thing that I liked about y'all growing up is y'all were very social, but y'all were social to the point where it was respectful. You're not in just your barbershops just cussing and, people outside smoking and doing all this kind of things, but y'all kept it real professional. Y'all would allow children to come in, and I know I was a bad kid when I came in.
In business, you have to be a family business. And a family business is to where that I could give you your dad, I could cut your hair, and your dad have a kid, and he's able to bring his family. He could bring his wife. He could bring his son. He'd bring his son. Now I'm that family barber, and it's the family barbershop. So it's like, okay, now I give this kid his first haircut, then cut him until he grow up and get to high school and then go off to college. And then most likely a lot of them kids will come back, and even if I'm not even their barber anymore, they'll come back and say, man, I want you to give my son his first cut, and I want him to see where I got my cut at. And there's longevity in it.
Exactly. It worked with me. I mean, shoot, you see, I'm still here, and I come to you every time unless I'm somewhere. And I remember, you came up to Atlanta, no, USF, when I was at Georgia Tech, you went to the USF hotel, because I was like, look, I need a cut. My mama said, call Jairus. My boy came out there and got me right in the hotel, so I was like, oh yeah, this is perfect.
Then went to the game after that.
Exactly.
Shoot, I think, matter of fact, I want to say you got to sack that game too. I think you got to sack that game, yeah.
I think it was a TFL. I don't think it was a sack. I think it was a TFL. Because that was my freshman, that was my true freshman year, yeah. Because I played those first 3 games and then redshirted. But yeah, I remember that game. I think I brought out the whole city for that game. I think I had like 6. I'm taking 16 tickets and had everybody out there but it was a home game. Like even though I was at Georgia Tech, it felt like home. I'm 45 minutes away from the crib. I want everybody to come out there, especially my second game of my college career. And I played a lot more in that game than I did the first game. So it was just I wanted to feel the love of the city, and for you to be able to come out there and actually give me a haircut before the game that night before and everything, it helped a lot, especially just my boosting confidence and whatnot. It was just something that truly helped me.
And then and like you say, that family atmosphere. We created an atmosphere as like family, because I don't look at clients is like a client. You're not just a cut to me. It's like a family. You know what I'm saying? It's like family. You know, I can call your parents and they can call you. Can call me at any time. Yeah. You know, even like when you went, you know, when you went to Georgia Tech, my sons had a baseball trip. So if you were that client, we wouldn't have stopped by to visit you, but we stopped by and I brought my sons to see you in Georgia Tech, and you gave them the tour and let them see on campus the locker rooms, on campus, the football field, the track and stuff like that, and see how things actually work. That's that family atmosphere that was created at the barbershop that went along to why you went off to college. You know, and then we took you around to your apartment and stuff like that. So that's the atmosphere that I try to have with business. And you know, I done been through a lot of barbers, and sometimes it's hard to get barbers because a lot of the barbers that I have fired
don't have that same mentality.
They don't have that same mentality, and then at the same time, some of those barbers, their mindset weren't ready for what I was trying to teach them. You know, and they just resisted. And it's almost like a kid resisting the parents at first, and then when they get older, then they start realizing the things that we were trying to teach them and show them actually really work for you, and it was all to benefit you. To grow, to groom you as an adult. To an adult. You know, and with the skateboards in the shop, for what it did for our shop, when in business as being African American, when we come through somewhere promoting whatever we're promoting, the first thing people see is our skin complexion. I'm brown, you know, so when they see that, it's like
they have this automatic like thought in their head of this is how he's gonna be, this is what this kind of shop is gonna be. And then once they actually go into it, they're seeing, oh, he's selling skateboards.
And not to cut you off, but hold that thought. Selling the skateboards broke the color barrier. Now we're not the black barbershop. We the barbershop with the skateboards in it. We the barbershop with the roller skates in it. And that's for everybody. And it's for kids, adults, whoever.
And that, I feel like that business plan truly propelled you into where you are today, because understanding, hey, no, not just one color can come into my barbershop. Anybody, any race. And I remember you had some Hispanic barbers as well. You had
everything.
I believe you had white barbers and everything like that. And
I've had female, white females, white males, Spanish. I've even had Asian barbers.
And I remember that, because I remember growing up and seeing different barbers out of there.
I had a Chinese dude cutting hair, man. Straight up.
But he was cold with it. I remember him. He was cold with the cuts. I mean, he was out there just line it up. I remember that. Yeah. So, but like, it's really crazy how it really just everything comes back full circle, and just everything. You know, just being able, like, when I was a kid, I remember coming into your barbershop like my first time ever. And I'm pretty sure I was like mad and crying because I didn't want to get my hair cut. You know, kids, I didn't want to get a haircut. You remember my brother, we'd be out there crying, and y'all ain't see this, but we'd go back home and we'd lock ourselves in our room for like 2-3 hours because we didn't want this cut. But now you see, like, I'm different now. Like, my parents, and we were talking about that earlier, my parents wanted me to look presentable and everything in the ways that we should be, because as a darker complexion person, like as black, like as, you know, brown people and everything, we do have this, and I'm not saying it should be like this, but we do have this, assumption about us. Assumption that, like, oh, if they have this kind of haircut, or they dress this kind of way, or they do this, they're not respectable, they're not this, they're not that. But as kids, we don't see that.
We don't see it, yeah.
We don't see, like, what truly is going on. And so parents have the responsibility of making sure their kids look presentable, making sure they're respectable. And that's going back to the Gentleman's Institute again. In the Gentleman's Institute, we didn't just have black children either. We had white children, we had Hispanic children, we had everybody. And the Gentleman's Institute was for everybody as well. So being able to understand now, growing up and seeing what my parents were really trying to tell me and what was going on and everything, I had to make sure that I presented myself as respectable, presentable, you know, somebody that can truly articulate and speak, and somebody that you would want around your company. And now that I've been able to establish my foundation for that, now I can get whatever hairstyle I want now. Because you know.
And your dad rocked the same style.
I'm telling you, first off, you remember he had the low cut.
Now that y'all done made it, you know, you done made it through high school to college and graduate. Now y'all rocking whatever. And look, your dad rocking a nappy top.
I'm saying, my dad, you know, dad used to have the low cut. Now he's walking in the court with the fresh twist, talking about, oh yeah, sponge it up and everything.
Yeah.
But it looked good on him, man.
Yeah.
You know, it looked good, and then just everything, man. So it's crazy how everything comes full circle. And once you get up there, and like you were saying, people look back and actually understand what's actually going on. And people look back and they see the lessons that you were trying to teach them or your parents were trying to teach them and everything like that. And, you know, you might not appreciate it in the moment, but you'll appreciate it later on in life.
Right.
So that's something that I feel like, you know, you were able to teach not just me, but a lot of people in the community as well. Just as, you know, the skate barbershop, you were able to break the color barrier. You were able to bring in just a plethora of different people, not just one race, but all nationalities, all races. And you were able to bring them together in a truly family style business barbershop where, like, okay, I'm not just cutting your hair. You asking people about their day. You're learning information. I remember I would come in there and tell you something, and I come back 2 weeks later and you'd ask me about it. And I was like, oh wow, he actually remembers something that I talked about 2 weeks ago. So like people don't understand, like building that connection, not just with your bar. I remember there was one time I came into your shop and we were sitting there and it was in the back corner, not the back corner, but like the back, like the far right in the first shop that you had. And you were cutting my hair and you were talking about, I'll never forget this. You said, listen, after your parents, your barber is the one you need to talk to the most. I remember you told me that. I swear, like you laughing, but I swear, you literally told me your barber is the one you should talk to because he's somebody that's really gonna be in your corner. He has the power to make your life a lot better or a lot worse with your hair, but he's also somebody you can confide in, somebody that's intimate with you enough to be able to cut your hair. So that way, if you're able to open up to him, he's not gonna tell nobody, but it's really just somebody that you can talk to and learn, and they'll actually keep the conversation and understand it. And I feel like that was something that still resonates with me to this day. I don't know if you remember that day, but it really resonated with me all the way to this day because you really told me barbers are the ones that are really gonna help you through a lot of stuff. And despite what you might think, you actually did help me through a lot of stuff because like, what was like kid stuff and like, you know, little crushes and everything, I would come in and talk to y'all and y'all would help me through those.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like, it was just something that we could all just talk about and just get a laugh out of it and whatnot, but it truly does help. And being a barbershop that's family oriented, like you want the families to come in and really be themselves. Not as crazy as I was as a kid, but you really want them to be themselves. And you know, it's amazing to me how like you've been able to build just everything from just around a family orientated, like, you know, status.
Right. Yep. So all right, cool. So back to Georgia Tech, man. How was it at Georgia Tech for you?
Georgia Tech was interesting for me. So once I first got there, you know, I don't think I've ever told this story because like it's so crazy, but a lot of people that were at Georgia Tech know about this story. The first team meeting we had, I literally stood up and they were telling us to introduce ourselves and I said, hey, I'm Jordan Domineck and I just want y'all seniors to know, as freshmen, we on y'all heads. I want 5 starters on offense, 5 starters on defense, 5 starters on special teams. And I made everybody mad. Like, I'm telling you, I made everybody mad. But at the end of the day, it's bred competition.
You call everybody out.
I swear I did.
I want it. I'm on your head.
People were mad at me. Like, the whole seniors were out there, like, telling me, like, bro, you can't just come in here and say that. And I'm just looking, just smiling, like, this is me. And you know, they bred competition. And I got laid out a couple times in camp when the pair of pads came on and everything. But at the end of the day, they got better. They wanted my head, and at that point, they was going as hard as they could in practice to try and get me. And you know me, I'm not gonna back down, so I tried to go back at them.
Yeah.
And it was just, I feel like that's what really got me to be at the level that I was, because the first day, I was an antagonist. But then everybody really was, you know, building on top of that, and everybody's saying, oh, he's not gonna come take my spot. Oh, these freshmen ain't gonna come take my spot. And that was the real competition. So that was something that, and then like throughout Georgia Tech, my career, we had Coach Johnson the first year, and then he retired. We ended up getting Coach Collins, and me and Coach Collins didn't get off on the right foot. Well, we got off on the great foot at the beginning. So when I was going through spring and everything, I feel like I did pretty well throughout that first spring. I was able to, I felt like I was able to run. I was able to do everything I needed to do to be a great football player. And so after that spring, I ended up having a surgery. And that surgery kind of messed up my mindset because I lost 40 pounds. I wasn't able to run like I could. I wasn't able to lift those weights like I could. I wasn't strong. I wasn't fast. I wasn't doing anything. When in the spring, I was the poster boy for doing everything. Like, running to the ball, super energetic little kid, but now I'm grown now. But then
Same energy.
The same energy, just still grown. But like that, I feel like that really like drove a wedge between me and my coach because I didn't have the mentality that he wanted because I just felt like I'm not myself no more. That surgery took a lot out of me. I had to get my tonsils and adenoids removed. So I lost 40 pounds. I couldn't eat and drink another for 2 weeks. Like I was hurting. And so when I came back, I wasn't performing the way they wanted me to perform. And that's when we started butting heads and everything. And I did end up getting suspended from there. But looking back now, I see they were really just trying to better me. And I wasn't the person that they wanted me to be. And I wasn't the person I needed to be able to get the coaching and to get better and everything like that. So once I actually was like, okay, I actually want to do this. I actually want to go in here, lock in. I'm going to give my all to this program. And that was because of Marco Coleman, who was a Georgia Tech alum. He was on the 1990 championship Georgia Tech team when they split it with Colorado. And he's a Hall of Famer, NFL Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Or at least he played like 17 years in the NFL. Like he played a lot in the NFL. Like he's a great player. His name is up there on the Georgia Tech board for, Hall of Fame at Georgia Tech and everything. So being able to play under him and knowing that he was in my corner, especially after everything that I had gone through there, dealing with just being suspended because I didn't have the right mentality, the right mindset to be on that team. I wasn't giving him 100% to going into and, okay, I'm about to go out there and play. That's when my success really started to ramp up and be better because I finally understood I had somebody in my corner. And now that I understand that I have somebody in my corner and I feel like, yeah, I have my parents and everything, but they were 8 hours away. So now that I have somebody up here that's in my corner and that's really looking out for my well-being, I'm going to go play for y'all. And that's where my success really started to come from at Georgia Tech. So throughout the next 3-4 years, I was able to play a lot better than what I was expecting, what was expected of me. So that whole time at Georgia Tech, like the first year, it was all right. I redshirted under Coach Johnson. I played the first 3 games and then redshirted under him. Collins came in. I played great during spring, had the surgery, ended up not being able to play like the first 6-7 games of the season. Not because of surgery, because of my suspension and just my mindset and everything. Come back in and I'm able to ball out. And a couple accolades that I got that year were Defensive Player of the Week. I remember I got Defensive Player of the Week against NC State. And throughout the next couple years, I was able to just perform at a better level each and every year because I would listen to the coach's advice. I'd understand what they're telling me, and I'd go in and make sure that I work on what they tell me to work on. So in the decision to leave Georgia Tech at the end of my 3.5 years, it wasn't, I don't like this coach or anything like that. It was literally for PT. And a lot of people think, it's playing time. No, I wanted to go into physical therapy. So I graduated.
I was about to say personal training, physical therapy.
Yeah, so I wanted to go into, I wanted to stay as close to the game of football as I could once I was done. Because I never talked about going to the NFL. I never thought I would ever get the opportunity to go to the NFL because I didn't think of myself as that good at football. Like I was able to make myself to, get to the Division I level, but that was never my end goal was to make it to the NFL. My end goal was always, let me get this degree and that way I can stay as close to the game of football as possible. So Georgia Tech was more of a STEM school. So I was able to get my business administration degree and they didn't have the physical therapy classes that I wanted. So once I ended up transferring out, I ended up going to Arkansas.
You transferred to Arkansas? Okay, and Arkansas SEC, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I was able to transfer to Arkansas in the SEC because 1, football, I wanted to test myself at the SEC level, and 2, I love that they had a physical therapy program there. So, but once I got to Arkansas, they told me that I didn't have any of the prerequisites for the physical therapy. So if I wanted to get into the DMT school and everything like that, it would take me 3 years just to be able to get into there.
And you actually graduated from Georgia Tech, right?
Yeah, I graduated early, so I actually ended up graduating in 2021.
You got your degree at Georgia Tech, and you still had eligibility. Because what did that come in through the COVID? COVID was after that.
COVID was 2020, so COVID actually happened my third year there.
Okay.
So COVID happened my third year there, and we ended up having to get sent home. If you didn't have an off-campus apartment, you ended up getting sent home. So I was here for about 6-7 months.
Right.
So, and it was like the whole COVID thing was crazy too, because we had so many rules and stipulations. Like I remember sitting on the field and we had like circles drawn in like 6 feet, like 6 feet away from each other, and circles drawn. And during practice, if you weren't on the field, you had to literally stand in a circle. And you're 6 feet away from the next person. And it might sound like weird or crazy, but that was literally the times of COVID. That was what was going on.
Yeah.
A lot of programs had to do that. You know, the social distancing.
Right.
A lot of players, like Georgia Tech, I remember a lot of people weren't even allowed to be in the stadiums. Or if they were in the stadiums, they literally had to be like 6 feet apart, and they had like designated spots and everything. So it was crazy back then. But now that like we've gotten through it and we're back into regular college football and everything, like it's gotten a lot better. It definitely has gotten a lot better. But just going through those trials and tribulations at Georgia Tech, we're able to, with the coaches being on my head because they wanted me to be better than what I was.
Right.
And I didn't understand that at the time. But going through, I understood where they were coming from, and the way they treated me was because they wanted me to be better. So understanding what was going on in their minds and understanding what was going on in mine, we were able to we were finally able to mesh in like the last 2 years, especially after COVID, when a lot of things got a lot better for me because, hey, I've been gone for 6 months. I was able to get my mentality right. I've been training. I've been making sure to get my body and everything back in order. So when I came back, I was now that energetic kid they had from spring of 2019.
Right.
So I feel like the COVID break actually helped me a little bit in trying to get my mentality and get myself back to where I was. So then I ended up leaving Georgia Tech, went to Arkansas, played at Arkansas, wasn't able to get into the DMT and whatnot, or the DMT school because I said it was prerequisites and everything. So ended up playing at Arkansas, and then I ended up transferring again after a year. So Arkansas, I feel like I had some accolades as well. Like throughout my college career, I've had a few accolades. So Georgia Tech, I believe I got ACC Defensive Lineman of the Week 3 times. And then I was preseason All ACC 2021, second team defense, preseason All ACC, I remember that. And then, I've had a lot of accolades in my career, and I can only attribute that to I can attribute my success to the way that I've been coached throughout my entire life.
Right.
And got to Arkansas, and I was able to earn SEC Defensive Lineman of the Week a couple times as well. So I was able to play there, and I was able to produce a lot more than I was at Georgia Tech. Like, I don't know what it was, but once I got there.
I want to say at Arkansas, you were, was it second in sacks?
Third.
In SEC?
Third. So Will Anderson, I believe that year had 10. Drew Sanders, who was also on my team at Arkansas, had 9. And then me and Harold Perkins from LSU were tied for 7.5.
Okay.
So we're tied for third at the end of the season. So all of us, but I did, like you said, I was up there in the top 5 SEC for sacks and everything like that. And I was producing, and that was based on because of Coach Deke Adams and, Coach Coleman and everything that they had taught me so far up to that point. And leaving Arkansas, that wasn't really like a thing I wanted to do. That was more so I felt like God was calling me to go somewhere else. And, I felt like I needed to go somewhere to really put myself in a position of, okay, this isn't the defensive scheme that I was able to play in, because back then we were running at Arkansas, we were running a 3-4 defense, and they had me at a 4-eye technique.
All right, cool. All right, so hold that thought.
Check out our skateboards, roller skates, and barber supplies. The all-new Barber Skate Shop, open now.
Welcome back to the behind the scenes at Barber Skate Shop. All right, so here we go. All right, here we go now. We were Arkansas. So after Arkansas, you was getting your mind right and getting prepared, and you was back to yourself. You grinding, you balling. You are third in sacks at SEC. The most sacks in the SEC, third, tied with old boy from LSU. All right, so now, okay, football season it's coming to an end, and here it is. You say you just about the scheme and stuff like that. So here it is. You get picked up by Colorado. You get the call from Deion talking about we here. We here. We coming.
Yeah.
Now, how was that call, and from Deion and the crew. I say Deion and the crew.
Mm-hmm.
And how was that, and how did that make you feel, knowing that you're about to go to the college that's going to be the most watched college football team ever, and that first team with the change with social media and all of that stuff like that? How was that feel? How was that?
So one thing about me, I was never like no big camera guy. I ain't really care about, being on TV and all this and that and the third, because if you're good enough, those coaches are going to come to you at some point, But when I ended up leaving Arkansas, like I said, it was a schematic difference between me and, Arkansas. I was nothing bad. It was all love between me and Arkansas. And once I decided to hop in that portal, it was just more so, this is God calling. I felt like that was God calling me to do something different with my life, go somewhere where I can truly thrive and truly learn how to be a better athlete, a better football player. And I feel like I could have done that at Arkansas as well, but I just felt God calling me to go into the portal again for my last year. Mm-hmm. And speaking of Coach Prime, the first time I actually hit the transfer portal leaving Georgia Tech, I took an official visit to JSU while he was over there. Okay. So I ended up over there at JSU for an official visit and whatnot, and they were I always tell this story, they were this close to flipping me from Arkansas, but I did want to test myself at the SEC level, and they had a good PT program over there as well, so I decided to go out to Arkansas. But once I got into the portal again, I ended up getting a call, not even from Coach Prime. It was from Coach Nick Williams, who was the outside linebackers coach this past year. Now he's over at Syracuse. Shout out to Coach Nick Williams, man. I got to make sure everybody knows. It was actually from Coach Nick Williams. Mm-hmm. And he's the one that recruited me. And he actually put me on the phone with the defensive coordinator, Coach Charles Kelly. Okay. And he's the defensive coordinator, I believe, over at Auburn right now. Mm-hmm. And he put me on the phone with him, and they didn't try to sell me, because they know I'm not a big clout guy. I don't really care about the cameras and all that. Yes, it's great to have, right, but I had a bigger goal now. I had a bigger focus. This is when I was like, okay, I know that I'm getting NFL interest. I know teams are interested in me. What can I do to truly become a true professional in my craft? What can I do to truly become better in what I do, to be more athletic, to show that I'm more versatile? So Coach Nick called me, and he actually put me on FaceTime with Coach Kelly. And Coach Kelly actually broke it down for me as what they wanted from me. So he was able to tell me, look, if you come here, this is the kind of football player you're going to be. He told me, if you want to improve, you want to become a drop back coverage guy, mm-hmm, as well as a pass rusher, this is what you're going to do. And this wasn't even like I don't even think he was trying to recruit me. Mm-hmm. I think he was just giving me an evaluation of the kind of person that I was and the skill set that I had. Mm-hmm. And I had a lot of interest from a lot of different teams and everything. And Coach Kelly just approached me in a way of, look, you want to be a professional. I have coached professional athletes. I know what it takes to be a professional athlete. I've seen exactly what it is to be a professional athlete. And this is what it's gonna take for you to become a professional athlete. Mm-hmm. So in the day of NIL and everything, a lot of coaches approach me with, oh, how much you want, how much this, how much that, you want this much money and that much money. I ain't asked for no money. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, when I left Arkansas, they thought it was tampering. Because, oh, he's leaving after having such a great year at Arkansas. Why is he leaving? Somebody must have reached out to him for money and everything. I never got approached from Colorado for money. I never got approached about them for anything like that. Coach Kelly literally just hopped on the phone and told me straight up, look, this is the kind of player that you're going to be. If you come here, this is the kind of player that we're going to groom you into. This is what we're going to make you, like, this is who you're going to be. And after that phone call, I was just like, wow. No coach has ever spoken to me in that way, has really given me a true evaluation of my skills and assets, not just telling me what I'm good at, mm-hmm, but actually breaking it down and showing me exactly what I need to improve on. Right. And so I ended up I had to take an official visit out there, mm-hmm, because they had just garnered so much respect from me just in that aspect. And then once I actually did get to Colorado, they, official visit wise, they took me into the room and like, look, this is your film. This is what you need to work on. And they literally sat me down and told me every single thing that I need to work on and how I would improve while I was at Colorado. Right. And from there, it was just, I had this newfound respect. especially meeting their entire staff. There was over 200 years, and I'm serious, 200 years of NFL expertise in that building. With Coach Prime, Coach Nick Williams, Coach Kelly. We had Dennis Thurman. Insane, like just a whole bunch of just people that have been in the NFL, were on the NFL level, were coaching in the NFL, or have so much experience around NFL players. So as I was there and they just showed me all these kinds of things, they weren't even, like they were recruiting, but they weren't recruiting in the aspect of, this is how much money we're gonna give you. Excuse me, this is how much money we're gonna give you. This is what we're gonna do for you. This is that and the third, we're gonna get you a car and all that. No, they literally told me, and this is exactly what I needed. This is how you be a professional. This is how we're going to teach you how to be a professional.
Preparation.
Preparation. This is what you need to be able to get to the next level. No other coach came out and talked to me like that. And that's what really sealed the deal for me, was like, okay, all these other coaches, like there were some others that were like, okay, you're a good player, we can use you and everything like that. But nobody really did an in-depth analysis, broke me down and told me exactly what I need to work on.
Right.
So under their guidance, once I got to Colorado, they were telling me, oh yeah, the cameras are gonna be all in your face. You're gonna be getting talked about this, that, and the third. You're gonna have a huge social media presence because you're at Colorado and that's Coach Prime and the Coach Prime show and everything, you know, on Amazon and everything like that. But that never truly mattered to me. You know me, I don't really care too much about the camera. Like I'll get in front of the camera and talk.
And at the same time, you were focused.
Yeah. Especially like knowing
all that stuff is invisible when you focus.
Exactly, especially knowing that it's my last year to actually make it big in what is now my dream of making it to the NFL. Because once I got to Arkansas, I was like, okay, I really want to get to the NFL now because I've seen that I've garnered a lot of NFL interest. Getting to Colorado, what can I do to sustain and improve and grow that NFL interest? Right. What can I do to be better? And learning just from them every single day. This is what you need to do. I would have bad days at practice. They would get on my butt. I wasn't treated no different than anybody else. Then like a lot of people will come on and say, oh, they treat this dude different and that dude different. Well, that's any college program that you go to. The difference between Coach Prime and a lot of other college programs is he's gonna tell you straight up, look, I'm gonna treat these boys different, but that's because they've earned the right to be treated different. Yeah. I've seen them. They've proven themselves time and time and time again. The people that are treated, you know, like regular average athletes, you haven't proved yourself yet.
You gotta earn it.
You haven't shown that you can be treated with this kind of respect and this kind of thing until you actually, you know, get there and show the kind of person and player that you are. And a lot of people that's a lot of things. And a lot of people hate on Coach Prime because, oh, he has the Coach Prime show and everybody's saying, oh, he's doing this for clicks and views and all that. People don't see, like, we literally show y'all the behind the scenes. And people think it's all a facade. Like, we tell them straight up, if you come here, you're here to work. You're not here just because you want to be on Cloud Chasers and you doing the camera and all this for clicks. He wasn't there for clicks. He was there to truly turn a program around.
Right, and you guys were the first team, and everything was new. New coaches, new players, and I remember you came by before you even went and was like, I'm going back, and it's gonna be almost a whole new team. And you know, we're on the outside, so we don't know what's going on the inside. We just go by, we listen to what we hear on ESPN, on SportsCenter and stuff like that, and they were saying, okay, X amount of players left, now we got X amount of players coming in. You know, so you guys had to do a lot.
It was an entire revamp of the roster. Right. So going from, and remember, I went in there during January of 2023. So going in January 2023 and then ending the spring with the team and then coming back for a team meeting and only seeing like 20 or 50, 25 of the same people from the last spring and then a whole bunch of different people. It's a grind. Like you have to actually learn how to mesh with these people over just the summer. It's not just 25 freshmen coming in each year like that was, but he literally revamped the entire roster and got rid of the people that weren't trying to put in the work or weren't trying to didn't have the mindset that he wanted or didn't have the the go get it, that drive, that factor, you know. A lot of people did, or they just didn't want to be under Coach Prime and all that. And I get it, like you want to go somewhere where it's not as much all this hate and clout and everything. And kudos to them. I see a lot of boys out there that are balling at their new schools. Like my boy Devin Grant, he's out there balling. Ludwig, he's over at Oregon. I know he was playing a little bit. Jake Wiley, just a lot of people that I know that were there under Coach Prime, left in the spring, and now they're making a name for themselves as well. And I love that for them. They didn't want to be under Coach Prime, and kudos to them, you know. But that was something that I wanted to do, and him revamping the entire, just the entire roster of Colorado, and then trying to go out there and ball with them boys. We had to really focus and lock in and really make sure this is what we're going to do. This is our mission. This is our goal. This is our plan. This is what we need to do to achieve it.
Right.
We set the foundation this past year. And I can't wait to see what they're going to do next year, because the people they brought in now are like some dogs. Like they brought in some real steppers.
Are they getting depth?
Yeah, they got a lot of depth.
To me, that was one of the things that you guys were lacking, is depth. And it's hard to beat these teams that have people. You got 4 or 5 players at each position. That's good, you know. And you guys were lacking that depth, because depth and chemistry. That's, to me, that's what you guys were lacking. Not that y'all wasn't good enough or none of that. It's just that.
No, we had some ballers, but it's hard
when these guys already been playing with each other for years, and instead of just grabbing a full, because he had that year. He had to just go pick a whole starting lineup. Yeah, it was a whole, the people from the year before and the people coming, I think there were only, I believe, 2 starters from the year before that were still starting when he got, throughout the next season. I think only 2. Everybody else completely new. And that's and to put that team together, that's not easy. That's not easy. You got to think, if 60 plus people leave the portal in 1 year, you got to bring another 60 plus in. And the way that he recruited, Coach Prime. Coach Prime is going to be Coach Prime. And he ended up recruiting a whole bunch of athletes that are really, really great. Honestly, some people from Florida State. We had Derek McClendon. We had Taj Austin. We had Leonard Payne. We had me. We had Shane Cokes. We just had, and I'm just naming people off the defensive line that I was in there, because those are the people I bonded with the most. We had Kyrie Mans. We have Dave Harris. We had Arden Walker. And it's just the amount of people that he brought in were some real dogs that were really willing to put in the work and really willing to, go out there and do what they need to do. And during that first year, we had somewhat of depth, but like you said, that chemistry, we had just come in together and barely anybody knew each other, but we still were able to come out in that first game. I think you remember watching that TCU game when we first were at TCU, and I knew we were going to be great when I watched Travis break off on the ball and catch that pick in the TCU end zone. And he walked over to the sideline and was going crazy. And I was like, oh yeah, it's on. That boy hard. Shador went out there and killed it. Oh yeah, that boy hard. Watching our defense just eat. What was his name? Trevor Woods. I don't want to say, but the white boy that was on the defense, the little milk in the sea of chocolate, But no, he was a baller, and him coming out in his first game, literally came up, pick. I'm like, oh, we're about to be great, And we actually put in the work, and we were trying to put in the time and energy and the effort to do it as well. But like you said, we didn't have that chemistry all the way through the year. We hadn't been together for a long time and everything like that. So, some things started to fall off throughout the season and whatnot. And that's not on the fault of the coaches. That's not on the fault of a lot of people. It was just, like you said, the chemistry. Some people just weren't, into the program like they should have been, and some people were. It takes time. Yeah, and it's gonna take time, but people don't understand. Yeah, we won 4 games. That's 400% better than the year before. Right. And it's only just gonna keep getting better with the more he recruits and the more people he brings in. And I was just so happy to be a part of that process. And like back to what you were saying, I know we got a little bit off topic, but when it came to the cameras and the lights and everything, you know me, I don't really care about all that stuff. I just want to go out there and play football. I want to become the best I could be. And being under Coach Nick Williams and Coach Gabe Lynn, who was
He was a DB in the NFL, actually. And he was actually teaching us about the back end portion of everything. So Coach Nick Williams would teach us about the outside linebacker position. And then Coach Gabe Lynn would teach us about the entire defense as a unit. So all the back end stuff. So as an outside linebacker, you got to be able to drop into coverage as well as rush the passer.
Right.
And learning from both of them just gave me such an edge, and just being able to be more versatile in my game and everything like that. Just learning how to be better, just better in general.
So that coaching that you got at Colorado, was it very different from the coaching that you had got prior to that?
I will say it was different from the coaching I got at Arkansas in the aspect of Coach Williams was a super passionate kind of guy. Like he was one of those guys that would literally run into the team meeting and just, get everybody hyped, and like he gets to talking and you want to run through a brick wall for him.
Yeah.
Coach Deke Adams, I'm not gonna say he was more laid back, because he was definitely like up in your face and made sure you were doing everything right. But it was like night and day, Like Coach Nick Williams was overly like passionate. Like he was one of them young coaches that's running around doing everything. He's out on the field running with y'all and everything like that. Coach Deke Adams, he was having fun with y'all as well. He made sure y'all knew exactly what he was doing, and I have all the respect in the world for both of them. And then I feel like Coach Nick Williams was a lot like Coach Marco Coleman when I was at Georgia Tech, because they both were super high energy, super passionate, all up in your face, yelling at you, coaching you like you want to be coached and everything like that. And when we're up at a high, everybody celebrates. When at a low, everybody's at a low. But not everybody's at a low, but like when we're at a low, coach is gonna make sure, hey, we gonna get this back up. Like this is that and the third. Like he's gonna boost your morale. Like, and that's how Coach Coleman was as well. Like, and they gonna get in your face, you mess up, they gonna yell at you and make sure you know that you messed up and all that. But that's just hard old school football coaching. And that's just, making sure they understand, hey, we truly care about y'all. This is what we want from y'all. We want y'all to be great.
Right.
And like I said, the coaching I got over at Colorado as well, I believe that I became more mature at Colorado as well, because a lot of times when I was at Georgia Tech or at Arkansas, I would just go home and watch film by myself and try to improve myself. And the coaches would give me pointers and everything and like the meetings or whatnot, but I wasn't truly taking the time to go up to their offices. Like I would go up to the office like a couple times, but I wouldn't take the time to really go up to the office with the defensive coordinator and talk to him and be like, look, this is what I need. Let me talk to you about this, and truly sit down and watch film with them. At Colorado, they taught me how to really be professional and go in and learn how to not just look at the film, but actually understand and study the film.
Right.
What am I looking for? What am I looking in this offensive tackle? How does he set? How do his hands move? What am I looking for in a quarterback? What are his tells? Is he a ball patter or does he just throw it off the rip? What kind of movement does he have inside the pocket? Is he a pocket passer, or is he somebody that can make moves and get out into open space and make something happen? It was so much to learn and so much knowledge at Colorado. And I'm not saying there wasn't knowledge at these other places as well, but this is the knowledge that I truly believe, okay, this is how I'm gonna be professional, this is what I need to do, this is how I'm gonna go in and dominate. And just being able to learn from all those coaches over at Colorado was just, it helped me so much, because I just felt like, okay, this is where I'm really learning to study, this is where I'm really learning to be a professional and everything. So that's how it was at Colorado. And I wouldn't say like, oh, it was so different, this, that, and the third, because I was learning a lot of things here. But I learned in Colorado truly how to apply myself into, studying film and learning about different people and understanding, packages and everything like that. Understanding the defense, not just the front end, but the back end as well. Understanding the full complexion of the defense, not just my position, or not just the front D line. So that's why I feel like Colorado differed for me, because I actually became more in tune with the coaches. I would go up there and ask Coach Nick Williams. I would literally be in there almost every day after practice, just up there watching film with him, seeing how I could improve, just everything like that. And a lot of people, and that was honestly the whole outside linebacker room for us. Like we would be out there and just, actually being there together, watching film and seeing it. Like this wasn't something that they made us do. Right. We did this out of our own volition. We decided we wanted to be better and we wanted to be great. So we went up there and watched film together. Exactly. So that was something that was like, that's why I really felt like, okay, I'm really coming into my own. And they also taught me how to be a leader as well out there, because I was the oldest in the outside linebackers room. I was the most proven, so to speak. And what I did, I'm not gonna say what I did, they followed, but we would talk to each other and hold each other accountable. And we would all go up there and know, hey, if we're gonna go watch film, we're all gonna go watch together. We all held each other accountable. And we were close in the old outside linebackers room. So when you talk about chemistry, the rooms themselves had chemistry.
Right.
But the team as a whole didn't have chemistry like we should have had.
Right.
And I feel like it's gonna be a whole change this next year because, hey, these people are gonna be with each other throughout the entire year and all that. There's gonna actually be full chemistry and everything like that.
Right.
So it's gonna be, it's gonna be different from last year.
So, and it's like what Coach Prime say, he's not just making athletes, he's making men.
Yeah, and that's a lot of the things that people don't understand. A lot of people, like we've said it before so many times, oh, he's doing this for likes, he's doing this for views, he's doing this for clicks and comments and people talking about. No, Coach Prime truly cares about his players. He really wants the best for his players. And a lot of people think, like we said, doing it for clicks, views, and all this and that, but no, they are actually showing you the nitty-gritty part of college football. They're not doing all this for clicks and views and all that. Like Darius Sanders Jr., Bucky, all of them. They're out there as cameramen. Why? Because they want to show the true in-depth of what's actually going on in Colorado. And if you ask Coach Prime, or not even ask Coach Prime, if you look at the entirety of Coach Prime's life, he's a gold jacket Hall of Famer. He's somebody that's always had a camera in his face. And now he's actually given a chance for everybody else to
the camera's always been on him, but now he's putting it on his players.
Exactly.
He's giving y'all that exposure that you need.
He's giving the exposure not just to the people and the fans, not just because, oh, we're going to get some clicks on well-off media and Coach Prime's page and all this, but no, he's showing you, if you want to be that guy, go be that guy. That camera is going to be on you. This is the mantle that you are choosing to take up, and this is the mantle that you have to set the standard for yourself. There is no hiding from those cameras either. Like I remember there was a video of me during one of our runs. I'm literally over there throwing up in the middle of a practice, like because we're just running. And I didn't even know the camera was on me at the time. But I'm literally over there throwing up, and my boys came and held me up. Not held me up, but like, hey, we got one more. JD, come on. I wasn't gonna make it if they didn't talk to me in my ear. I wasn't going to. And as I'm throwing up, I'm literally walking to the line, like stuff was coming out of my mouth. Soon as that whistle blew, I took off running. Why? Because I had the strength of my teammates around me. It wasn't because I'm super, super tough. Like I am a tough person. But to be able to have your teammates have your back and hold you accountable and be able to tell you, hey, you can make it through this. Not just over here yelling at you and complaining about you and, oh, you suck and this and that, but actually uplifting you and bringing you along. That's what we were trying to do. And that's the kind of culture and program that Coach Prime wants from y'all. Yes, he wants y'all to have competition. Yes, he wants y'all to trash talk or whatever. But at the end of the day, y'all are a unit. Y'all are a family. Whatever y'all are doing to each other, do that tenfold to the person across from you that's in a different jersey. So if you can go out here and get mad at your offensive line and yell at them and everything, you should get triple as mad when you go out there on the football field and you playing against somebody else, because who is this guy compared to my guy?
Right.
Who is this? I'm going out here, if I can ball and kill my own teammates in practice, what does that say I'm gonna do to you? That's the kind of mentality and mindset that Coach Prime wants from his players. Just to be able to be a tight-knit family that knows how to turn it on as soon as you step on that grass. And then as soon as you get off, you a family again. Y'all holding each other's arms and locking in and going out to eat and all that and stuff like that. But that was the kind of thing that Coach Prime really wanted from his players. And I feel like with this new class that they just brought in this year, it's going to be a lot better and a lot more chemistry within, like we said, a lot more chemistry within the entire program.
Right. That's what's up, man. So your ride at Colorado. So, all right, so with your ride at Colorado, so what's next, man? I've been hearing some things, so I've been hearing it, but I want to hear from you. What's next, man? What's next?
So after the season, I ended up actually announcing that I want to, declare for the draft. And so I declared for the draft, and there was a whole agent picking process where a lot of agents would come and talk to me and everything like that. And I chose an agent, and I ended up going with Peter Schaefer, who is part of Authentic Athletics. He's my agent. And he put me into a program where I trained and became a lot better under Pat. He trains over at Pivotal Performance, and that's over there in Parker in Colorado. So I actually stayed in Colorado after I was done and trained at Pivotal for another 3 months up until our pro day. And then after our pro day, I literally stayed there again and just trained to keep my body right and everything because, hey, I'm already in Colorado. I'm already here working. I'm already here doing what I need to do. And this man, Pat, has really helped me just, not even just like be a better football player, but just helping me learn my eating habits, helping me with my health and helping me with everything like that. And they helped me at Colorado like that too as well. But Coach Pat and everything, they helped me, teach me just working on the little things, like the little muscles, things that you wouldn't expect, but things that I learned from them that I can apply to my football game now. So being able to train under Pat and being signed under Peter and everything, I was actually able to, I ended up playing in the Tropical Bowl, which is like a senior bowl, basically. Okay. And I actually was able to play over there. And the crazy thing, my trainer from all through high school, Melvin Jenkins, and he was actually the coach on the opposite team of me. So we were over there, we over there talking mess in each other. You know us, we've always, he's been training me since I was 9th grade. And every time I come home, I train with him. So it's been 8, 9 years since we've been training together, So it's crazy to me how all that has worked out. And I was able to play in the Tropical Bowl. I was able to garner a few interest from a few NFL teams as well out there. I was able to talk to a lot of teams out there, give them my backstory, what kind of person I am, who I am, and what I'm trying to be, what my goals and my plans are, who my family is, and everything like that. Just getting the basic information about me down from these scouts and everything. And based on my performance and based on, just everything that happened throughout my college career, I was able to get an invite to the Broncos Pro Day. So I was able to get a workout over at the Broncos and everything. That worked out really, really well for me. I love them for giving me that opportunity to really go out there and showcase my talent and, just everything like that. Being able to meet everybody in the Broncos facility and all that and just talk to them. And being able to go through that really opened my eyes to me about what this NFL world is. Being able to see what's going on, I was able to talk to the strength coaches. I was able to see the kind of programs they were running. I was able to see this, that, and the third. And that just gave me more hope of okay, I want to be able to make it to the NFL. So I've been pushing myself daily to be able to be better than what I was before so that I can make it to the next level. And so you heard it from me here first. I am planning on trying to go to the draft, and the draft is coming up in the next 2-3 days and all that. So I actually do want to. Well, it's not even that I do want to, but I have garnered some interest from NFL teams, and I have had some teams, call me and, get my information for draft day and all that. Not putting anything into the air just yet, but wherever God puts me, it's going to be on. It's going to be. As long as I get an opportunity to step into that door, I'm going to show the kind of person I've been since day one.
That's cool, man. That's cool, man. That's good, man. I'm proud of you, man, and been watching you since you were a kid, through your journey, man, and that's cool, man. You about to try to. You got accepted into the draft. The draft. And it's something I wanted to show you too, man. That I got, and we kind of skipped that part. Yeah. About right after high school, man. I got, and I wanted to show you. I want to show you that.
No way. You still got it.
I got it.
You still got it. That's crazy. So this was my high school blue-gray All-American Bowl jersey that I played in.
Yeah, man.
That's insane.
And I know it's supposed to be in the frame. I'm supposed to have it framed up on the wall.
I'm happy that I'm holding it. I don't think you understand. I forgot about this. This brings back so many memories and just. Blue-gray All-American Bowl, they were really my first, real all-star game that I was able to play in. So
you was the MVP of that game.
I was. So I'm happy that they were able to give me this. And, man, thank y'all to the Blue-gray All-American Bowl. Anybody that watches this that wants to play, let me show y'all the back, Domineck, number 62. Don't look at the number, but just look at the name. But anybody that plays in the Blue-gray Bowl game, just know y'all have the exact same chance as anybody that plays in them Under Armour and All-American showcases, man. Y'all get a chance. The Blue-gray All-American Bowl game really, truly helps you out as well. But, dang, you really still have this, man.
Yeah, man.
It still has the grass marks and everything from when I did play. That's crazy. Oh, man. That's insane.
Yep.
This brought back so many memories, man.
Yep.
Man, I appreciate you, man. That's it. I really forgot about this. Like, this is...
Yeah, man. I still got to get it framed, man. I still got to get that joker framed, man.
It's gonna happen, man. I appreciate you for showing me this, man. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, man.
And I'm gonna let you hold it because. But no,
it's my jersey.
it's your jersey now. You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, appreciate y'all for having me and everything. I'm glad y'all have been a part of my journey since I was young, man. And I can't wait to see where it goes. And just know, wherever I go, you coming with me because I still need the designs in my hair, man. I still need those designs and everything. So
you know it.
You know what it is, man.
And that's gonna conclude today's episode of Behind the Scenes at Barber Skate Shop. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All platforms, Barber Skate Shop. You got anything you want? Anything you want to promote? Anything? Your social media links.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, you good.
Follow my boy, check him out, man, and y'all be watching the draft. Cause my boy might get that call, so we gonna see.
Hopefully, man. Follow me on Instagram, Domineck42. Matter of fact, let me see this right quick. Since a lot of y'all don't know how to spell Domineck now. Follow the Instagram, Domineck42. Follow the Twitter, Domineck16. And man, all I want to say is anybody that has those plans of trying to make it to the next level, make it to the league and all that, understand preparation is key. And if you want to be good in anything, you have to be good in everything.
Peace.
That's insane, dude. Like, I had to smell it to see if it smelled the same.
You just smell the sweat.
Man, the grass and the stains, the dirt.
Yeah,
I might put this junk on. Might have to put this junk on. See how I'm feeling. Feel I can go out there and rock some right now, man. What you talking about? Man, that's crazy, man.
Cool, man. Cool. Yep.
But man, I really appreciate you for having me, man. This was amazing.
I appreciate you coming through, man. Family, dog.
You know it.
Show, man. You know what I'm saying?
Always, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna give this back to you because I know you don't want to frame it and everything.
I'm gonna put it up, man.
One day I'm gonna walk in here and I'm gonna look at that thing and I'm gonna say, dang, 62 is an ugly ass number, but I love that jersey.